I'm Cynthia Sumner with Healthy Healing TV, and today we're going to talk about natural remedies for overcoming depression. So first I want to talk about the benefit of vitamins and minerals, and actually just how essential it is for our emotional and mental well-being. We don't think about that part, that there needs to be a physical element to the way that we're thinking because we don't see those thoughts. But the way we feel and the way our neurotransmitters communicate with our brain, those need vital elements, vital nutrients. So I have a friend who, her daughter was severely depressed, and she was even suicidal. And they had fought this, they had struggled with it for years. And they finally had heard from a resource, from a friend, how helpful taking in the right supplements and elements, how helpful it is for helping to heal these kinds of struggles. And as they took in these vitamins and minerals, which you can get through live food and you can get through plant-based supplements, this girl changed. She started feeling happy. She expressed how she was able to feel like herself, where before she felt disconnected and cloudy. She felt like there was no purpose. And they also did other healing modalities that went along with it, but a big part of what they did that helped her heal was to give her body those vitamins and minerals. An overload of toxins in the system is a really big reason for having problems with our mental and emotional well-being. When we have toxins and sludge and buildup inside of us, it really interferes with the proper communication of the neurotransmitters communicating with our brain. And when we can't think straight and we're not able to really process, it's hard for us to be able to manage what we're thinking and how to act. So it's important to keep the lower bowel moving properly. And that would be 2 to 3 times a day, eliminating 2 to 3 times a day. It's amazing how light you feel, how clear your mind is when you eliminate that area. So when you're eliminating from the very bottom of your body, everything from the top is able to flow out, including your brain, your bloodstream, everything you have going on up here. So eliminating regularly will help in a really big way. It is really important for us to understand what we're feeling and to know what to do with it. So often we're stuck in these fears or beliefs or sadness, and it could be something that happened when we were little. It could be stresses that we have in our adult life. It could be teenage worries of friends, or it can be all sorts of different things. Sometimes it can just be a belief that we form that isn't even true. But what I have found that has been most beneficial to me, because I suffered with depression for the first 20 years of my life. And one of the key things that I do to manage my emotions, to be able to feel joy every day, is to write down all of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are bothering me, and I start my day with it. So every morning I write down all my fears. Sometimes I write down things that I don't even know where it's coming from. And it's important to get it out. So writing it down, and then I always will write an affirmation opposite of the negative. So whatever is opposite, whatever is positive that's connected to that negative, so that we're creating something that's good. And then I love to either rip up the negative, or you can burn it. Of course, you want to do it with an adult if you're burning it. This works really well for my kids. One of my sons has a really hard time expressing himself, and he'll get really angry, and I can't communicate with him. And so I'll just tell him, you know what, we can move on through the day after you write down your negatives. And sometimes he's like, I don't want to do that. And I just tell him, well, you get to burn it after. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. And so he writes it all down, and a lot of times it opens up some communication for me to understand, oh, that's why you're so angry. And other times he doesn't even need to talk. He just needed to get it out. So that's really beneficial to understand what we're thinking, understand what we're feeling, and then to be able to replace it. So I recommend to read over those positives that you've written down, and they can become your new declarations, your new affirmations. Whatever you focus on is what you will get. So I always say you are what you eat, and you are what you think. And whatever you're thinking is what it's going to be. That's what you're going to be creating and making decisions that are based on how you feel. So if you change your thoughts, it changes how you feel, and it changes the world around you. Tapping is a healing modality that I absolutely love. I use it very often. Within us, we have an energy flow. We have chakras and we have meridian points. And when you tap into your system, it really is kind of like knocking on your body saying, hey, I need to get within. And the reason why we do it is to help us become aware of what we're feeling, and it helps us to be able to manage those emotions. So there's many different places that you can tap, and you can tap where you feel comfortable, but I always start right here. Right here is over your thymus that holds deep emotions. And so as you tap here, think of what you're feeling that you're needing. If you're having anxiety or sadness, or you're angry, you can just start tapping and take a deep breath in, and your intentions of moving that out, or you can say it out loud. I am releasing this feeling of anger, releasing the anger. And these are the different spots that you can tap, and you just keep saying that emotion, what you're releasing. I like to go to the back of the head, and it's just really gentle. You're being really gentle with yourself, releasing the anger. You can do on the back of your hand, you can do on the top of your hand. So if you're in public and you're really anxious, or you're frustrated, or you have an emotion that's triggered that you need to manage, you can really do it without anybody knowing. You can just tap right here, or you can even tap on your knee. But this is where I usually start. For me, this is what is the most helpful. And you always want to take a deep breath in, because that helps you to take a hold of it and let it go. And after, if you feel like you've been able to let it go, then you want to replace it with truth. So if I'm feeling really angry, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, and you take a deep breath in, and it just helps you really manage that instead of it controlling you. And then I like to put my hand over my heart. If you're in public, or you're in front of people and you're kind of just doing it inside, you don't have to do that. You can just say within yourself, I replace that space with peace, with patience, with joy, whatever is positive that feels right to you. And you can do it all within here. You don't have to say it. But if you're alone, it is really powerful to say it out loud. There's many YouTube videos and books that help you learn about how to tap, and it explains it on a deeper level. But my favorite is to get on YouTube. It's super easy, and you can search for tapping or emotional release tapping, and it'll pull up hundreds of videos that you can learn more, and you can actually follow an expert that takes you through different emotions and helps you to be able to learn about it and to release what you're needing to, and replace it with power and with truth. I hope you found something helpful. Depression is a very real thing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and be sure to subscribe.